All right, so this kind of got me thinking about this subject. I've got like 2, maybe 3 people on here who are pretty obsessive about watching my videos right away and always downvoting my stuff. And I just think it's kind of funny. I mean, I have a choice to let it affect me or not. You're the ones with the intent to spread some kind of negativity, some kind of hatred because for whatever reason, you have some kind of an axe to grind against me. But instead of just walking away from this, you continue to engage in this type of behavior, to just be mad at me for whatever reason it is that you're mad at me because I hurt you in the past. I said something you didn't like. I don't know, whatever it is. You're anonymous, so you're not going to come forth and say anything about it. There's really no point to it anyway because you just want to be mad. And so anyway, the point I'm really kind of getting at here is kind of makes me think about this stuff with Jamie because he really gets a lot of hate out here, as we all know. Somebody criticized me the other day for, I was defending Jamie, and it makes me look pathetic. And, I said it then, and I'll say it now, I'm not defending Jamie. I mean, you could insert anybody into that scenario, and I would say the same things. It's just that, this is the circle that I know about, and so I commented on it, and Jamie's somebody I know, and, that's why I made the comment. And it could have been anybody. It really doesn't matter. Insert anybody here, and I would still feel the same way, and I would still say the same things. It's not a defense of a single individual. It's a defense of a particular, how should I put this? How do I phrase this? Of a particular way of thinking, of a particular way of being, of a way of seeing a situation. And it's not really harmed. I mean, Jamie is only harmed by these things if he allows himself to be harmed by these things. And, Jamie and I have talked about this in the past, and he's talked about it. And, I don't want to speak for him, but I know, of course this kind of stuff, gets to him a little bit. And it's hard not to let it get to him. But the people who are spreading that kind of anger and hatred are the ones who are affected by it as well. I mean, that's just the way this stuff works. It doesn't matter if you think it's justified. If you think that somehow you're doing some kind of a righteous deed because Jamie is some kind of evil man because he's done and said some, shitty things on here and he could be a prick, we can all be pricks. We can all be douchebags. Jamie's just an easy target, because he's doubled down on a lot of his own behavior, a lot of his own bad behavior. But it doesn't justify going out of your way to hate on somebody. Whether you think they deserve it or not, you're the only one affected by that kind of venomous behavior, and you see it over and over and over again. I mean, Scotty is the perfect example. I have no problem bringing your name up. If you want to use this as an excuse to drag me, I don't care. Drag me all you want, Scotty. You're the one, and there's like several examples. I'm just using this as one example. There are several people out here. Lufa, she's another example. Rally and all those guys over there. I mean, they're in their mind, it's self-righteous. We're doing the right thing. We're going after a bad guy. We're getting a bad guy off the internet. And again, it's just pure hypocrisy, and can't take any of it seriously because there's a track record of all their behavior. So blah 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 blah. It's just the only person who is affected by that kind of anger and that kind of hatred is the people who are engaging in that kind of behavior. And I'll be downvoted for all this. And, you're an idiot. And you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, whatever. But I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm right. It's eating you up. This stuff is eating you up. This anger, this hatred for whatever it is, because you can't just face it. You can't deal with it. You project it onto someone like Jamie. It's Jamie's fault. Jamie made me do this. Jamie made me feel like this. Matt made me feel like this. Matt upsets me. Matt's an idiot. Matt's a freak. Whatever it is. And I am a freak. I fully admit it. You have no idea the level of how much of a fucking freak I am. And I don't mean that in any kind of bizarre. I mean that like in a very metaphysical, supernatural kind of a way. Paranormal kind of a way. I don't mean that in any kind of dirty kind of a fucking way, so get your heads out of the fucking gutter. I'm not affected by that kind of thing. You're the ones carrying that stuff around. You're the ones carrying around all that anger and all that hate and directing it out and projecting it out there into the universe and making things worse. Because the thing is, you may believe that people like Jamie, they don't deserve compassion. They don't deserve empathy. And here's how this thing works. It's the people that we think or believe don't deserve compassion and empathy are the ones who need it the most. Because they're the ones who are very wounded. They've been, for whatever reason, they're very hurt. They're very wounded people. It's why they are the way that they are. That's because they haven't received any kind of compassion or love or empathy from people. And to continue to pile on with the same kind of animosity and hatred and anger and venom just compounds the situation for not just the person that you're targeting, but for yourself, even more so for yourself. You're not doing anything good. You're not engaged in a good deed. You're not engaged in any kind of moral duty or moral activity. You're just perpetuating the anger and the hatred and the animosity. It's just the way it is. And the only way out of it is to flip the behavior, is to flip the polarity. And to start treating people like Jamie, treating yourself with more kindness, with more love. Look, I sound like a fucking idiot right now. I don't care, man. I stand by this 100%. And I will continue to stand by this because this is what I work on practicing every day. And I mean this towards, to this Jason dude who came out of nowhere, towards Scotty, towards Rally. I don't like you, but I work on trying to care about you and to not engage in the same kind of stuff that you engage in. And I don't spread hatred of you. I don't think you're good people and I don't like you, but I don't go out and drag any of you. I've said some things about Rally lately that are 100% true in the hopes that maybe he'll stop doing this kind of stuff and he'll stop behaving this way. Same with Scotty, same with the rest of you, because you're not doing anything good. It doesn't matter if you believe it. You can believe it. Belief is a big part of how this stuff works, but you're still spreading negativity. Your intent is to spread hatred and anger and negativity and to perpetuate it. Because you've got, whatever it is, whatever reasons you don't like Jamie, whatever reasons you don't like me. I know for a lot of it for you, with me, is you think you're better than everybody. And I think that's probably what a lot of it has to do with Jamie, too. You just think you're better than everybody. I don't. I can be arrogant. Doesn't mean I think I'm better than everybody. I think I'm right about a lot of things. And I know I'm right about this. I know I am. We've heard it in a million songs. We've all heard it. It's just that nobody practices it. Love is the way. You have to forgive and forget. Truly forgive and forget, which is hard to do, man. To alchemize that kind of stuff, we can talk about it all day, but to actually put it into practice, it takes effort. It takes a lot of effort. And for a lot of people who have, built up a lot of this kind of animosity, it's just embedded in their system. It takes time to release all that shit, I'm speaking from experience because that's what I've been doing. I've been releasing all of this trauma, integrating it so that I stop behaving in the ways that I don't like to behave. It's just sad. And I don't care. I'm not ashamed of any of this stuff, man, because I stand by it. I believe it 100%. I'm not ashamed of the things I said about Jamie, defending that situation with MD, because it's true. I'm not ashamed of feeling the way I feel about certain things. I'm not ashamed to stand up against all the anger and hatred. And I'll continue to do it. And I don't care if you think I'm full of shit. I don't care. Whatever you think, that is not in alignment with what I'm doing. Because I have the choice to let it affect me or not. And it's the same thing with Scotty. I'm just using you as an example because you're like the most obvious kind of example of all this kind of stuff. You also deserve compassion and empathy because you're very wounded. Everybody knows it. You know it. And you're acting out on all of that pain. And that's why I really don't go after you the way that you have gone after me for the last year and a half. I'll throw in a comment or two here or there. It's why I tried to help you out. And of course, what did you do? You completely fucking undermined my help of you. Like I did it for selfish reasons or something like that. Well, what selfish reasons? I've never asked you for anything in return. I've never tried to manipulate you into anything in return. I've never asked for any of that money back. The only person I've asked for any money back from is that To the Moon Chicken for Tiffany, because they didn't use the money for the thing that they said they were going to use it for. And I was not Mr. Tumnus, and I didn't ask, Eli got that fucking money. So you want to try to spin that story that I took all that money back. It wasn't me, and I didn't take any money back because Eli got all that money from Tumnus. I haven't tried to manipulate anybody. So anyway, because you just can't accept the idea that I'm actually trying to do something helpful. You just don't want to believe it. You want to believe that I have all these ulterior motives, and I don't. I don't. I know a lot of you are hurting. I know a lot of you are in pain. I work very hard at not contributing to that pain. Show me in the last year and a half all the horrible things that I've done. I don't participate in hate streams. And a lot of you do. You can lie to yourselves about you're not a part of this, but you're there. You're there participating. You're involved in that anger and hate towards, Jamie, towards myself, towards Amber, towards whomever the fuck it is. And it's unfortunate. I wish a lot of these people, I wish Jamie, I wish Amber, I wish some of these other people would just stand down, because all they're doing is making things worse. They're contributing to it. They're perpetuating it. I understand how hard it is to not when you're constantly being attacked. That's the whole point of all this. That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. Just stop. It's not doing anybody any good. And in some cases, it's really doing a lot of harm for the people who are doing it and for the people who are on the receiving end of it. Whatever. I know this isn't going to change anything. I'm just speaking my mind. I don't care, man. I just don't care what you people think of me. I don't. I've come way too fucking far and experienced way too fucking much to let a bunch of people on the internet who don't know me decide how I feel about myself. I'll say what I want to say. I'll comment on what I want to comment on. And you'll just continue to spread your anger and your hatred. And that's sad.